It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Track Beer. I think they're called Track Beer. I don't think they're called Track Brewing Company. They're actually called Track Brewing Company. I haven't had a Track Beer, admittedly, for, I don't know, something like 18 months. But I remember drinking Track Brewing Company's beers 18 months ago, and I remember thinking, oh my goodness me, what a wonderful brewing company. What a fantastic, terrific beer that I'm drinking in my hands. I think back then I was only drinking kind of pale ales, maybe the odd IPA from Track. This is called All My Trials. It's a triple IPA at 10.5% ABV. Based in Manchester, England, it's been brewed with Citra and Nelson Sauvin. Now, I reviewed recently, and this is rather interesting for me, I reviewed a Daya Brewing Company beer. It was a pale ale, and I thought it was very, very good. And I mentioned Daya in my review as one of the top 3 brewers in the UK, along with kind of the likes of Cloudwater and Verdant. But it turns out the landscape has changed, and the landscape has changed in a monumental way. I had a load of comments in the comments box of that Daya Brewing Company video saying, hey, what about Overtone? What about Track? They are doing incredible things. And again, I remember drinking Track 18 months ago, and the beer from Track was just tremendous. So this beer was kindly sent to me by Stephen Claxon. Thank you very much, Stephen Claxon. And he bought it at Trembling Madness. Bought a big box of Trembling Madness beers for me and sent them down to South Wales. Absolutely wonderful gesture. Thank you very much. So Trembling Madness, if you've not heard of it, if you want to order some beer from Trembling Madness, they're based in York. So if you're in the York area, definitely go and see their bar stroke shop. Tremendous. I've been there myself. It's a wonderful place. Or if you're too far away, order some beer from Trembling Madness online. It's really worth it. We got a 2-finger white head, good levels of carbonation, hazy straw coloured triple IPA. Let's get the aroma. Wow. It's got that lovely tropical vibe about it. Yeah, kind of tangerines, pineapple, grapefruit, passion fruit, mango. Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good aroma. It's got that kind of soft water vibe about it as well, which again is really important. And there's a little bit of sweet malt in there. Right, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, the flavours, they're still hitting me. The flavours are running and running and running and... Oh, Stone the Crows, what a beer. There's definitely kind of like, there's almost coconut and lime. Almost kind of coconut and lime flavours coming through in this one. Being a triple IPA at 10.2%, it was 10.2, wasn't it? 10.5% ABV. Being a triple IPA at 10.5% ABV, you definitely get that kind of subtle hint of alcohol, that kind of warming sensation from the alcohol in the throat. It slides down into the pit of the stomach. It gives you that lovely kind of warming sensation from that 10.5% ABV. There's lots of passion fruit, lots of mango, lots of grapefruit, orange peel, little bit of sweetness to begin with from the malt. And then you're left with well, there's so many hops in the beer, you're left with like almost like a bitter, spicy, peppery kind of finish to the beer. But then that's all wrapped around with that 10.5% ABV, that alcohol by volume. It's got a really soft water quality to the beer. You definitely get that kind of soft water, like they've treated the water. It's Manchester. I'm not from Manchester. I don't know if they have soft water in the area or it's very hard water. If it's very hard water, then the brewers, if they know what they're doing, of course, they will definitely treat the beer. They will not treat the beer, my mistake. They will treat the water. So they will treat the water from being really hard water to make it really soft water. And the reason why they do that is to promote the hops in the beer. You don't want like slightly kind of sulfury, farcy kind of tastes in your beer. Of course, the beer's not brewed in Burton-on-Trent. There was a time, there still is a time where it's kind of almost kind of like, they call it Burtonisation. Because the beer in Burton was sent around the world and people thought that this is what beer should taste like. The beer was brewed with hard water from the Burton area. And a lot of brewers would then treat their beer to have hard water. So if you tried like a best bitter from that area, then or brewed with hard water, you would get this kind of sulfury aroma to it. But the opposite to that is soft water. So you're getting very clean water. There's no kind of sulfury fartiness going on. Nobody wants that really, do they? The other thing they're doing, the brewers, is they're using really light malts. So by using light malts, you get little wafer-like flavours coming through, but they're subtle. And of course the yeast, they're using a yeast that is not super estery. It's not giving off like banana or clove or, it's a very clean yeast. So you can see where I'm going here. Clean water, clean malt, clean yeast, but heavily hopped. Heavily hopped. So the hops are almost put on a platform and the lights have come down and the lights are shining on the hops and the hops are able to dance and do their thing, to do their jig. And these brewers are very clever at doing that because, well, people want it, don't they? They want their hops to shine in their beer. Mixed with that 10.5% ABV, it's a pretty damn good beer. A damn good beer. All my trials. Again, a lot of these brewers these days, they don't give a description, a big old description on the back of the can because they're knocking out beers. Some of these breweries are brewing 3 or 4 different beers a month. And to sit down and write a description for every single beer would be time consuming and monotonous, and quite frankly, nobody really reads the story on the back of the cans anyway, do they? It's all it's all about the liquid in the glass. Brewed, canned and poured at Track Brewing Company, Piccadilly Trading Estate, Manchester. And that's it. Ingredients are barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast and water. 440 milliliter can, vegan friendly. It's good. It's good. But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. I think the only downside is that I think that there needed to be a separation between the hops. There needed to be kind of like grapefruit, wait a bit, then some passion fruit, wait a bit, then some orange peel. It seemed like that all of the flavours of the hops were kind of crammed together, and it just needed a bit. It was like all the flavours hit you at once, whereas a great beer, where I'll give a 9 out of 10, 9 or a 10, will have more layers of flavour, more hop layers of flavour. This is kind of like just all together all at once. Hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!